everybody, this is Nisi with my new vlog channel, Allure EBM, which is, of course, for those who don't know, part of my business. Today I'll be talking about a very special hack that is dear to me, something that I feel like for any style is very important to wear on you, which is confidence. A lot of people deal with not having confidence. I've dealt with it myself. With these hacks that I have used myself can help you build confidence and keep it. So my first hack, of course, is changing the way you think. By changing the way you think, it will subconsciously kind of rewire your brain in a way. For example, for people who I guess have been bullied or verbally, somebody tells you you're ugly. If you hear it enough times, then you believe you're ugly. And then to a point where if somebody were to tell you, you're beautiful or something like that, you just kind of don't believe them. With that, that's the way you're thinking. By changing the way you think, it'll kind of allow you to open up more. You'll start to actually believe the things that you're thinking, and it'll help in the long run. Another thing that I use for myself, and I've kind of slowed down a little bit just because I haven't needed it as much, is like affirmations, which are just good things to kind of tell yourself. What I do, and I'll post pictures on my Instagram and things like that so y'all can see how I do it and how it looks. Or I write on index cards and put them on my wall just so when I wake up, it's the first thing I see, just to kind of remind myself, and also go back to my first hack, just kind of rewiring my brain to actually believe them. So some of the things that I have on there is, it'll get better, you've got this, or Rome wasn't built in a day, things like that, just to tell me, to keep going and keep being positive. A lot of us sometimes get, something happens and it gets us down, and then we think all hell. But by creating affirmations, you're seeing it every day, and it'll help you in the long run. Another one I have is changing your environment. By changing your environment has a lot to do with how you can how you can succeed sometimes. If you're in an environment that is very negative, very not really supportive, it can kind of make you very negative. If you're around people all the time that are doing things not to better their lives, then you'll start to fall in the cracks, and you'll start to not do as much things that you could. So by changing your environment, by people who are more positive, people who are more confident, people who are more kind of on top of things, will allow you to kind of gravitate towards that and pull that energy from them. So they're thinking positively, which make you think positively, because they're sitting there. There's always the brighter side to things. So by doing that, changing your environment, it can also help with your confidence, because if you're negative, you're having a bad day, you have that one friend who's like, it's okay, things will get better, look at this, look what's happening here, this is positive, and then you kind of start to understand, then get a little more positive. Another hack I have is that you might not think could be that big of a deal, but it is your posture. I am very big on my posture. The way I sit, I kind of just am very particular about things. But not only will it help your back and support and stuff like that, if you're always walking and looking down, or kind of just just bend it over and not really sitting tall and standing, head lifted and things like that, you kind of bring that energy to you. So a lot, by lifting your head up a little more, looking straight up, you're able to see more people, you're able to kind of communicate more, and people want to gravitate towards that. People want to see other people who are, being happy. It's crazy that everybody wants to help people, but nobody really wants to be with that person who's always a Debbie Downer. So by just, you know, walking taller, walking prouder, can gain that confidence just little by little, just because you'll see more faces, you'll see, you know, you'll see more things. Another hack that I have is just kind of figuring out what exactly you feel you could improve. You know, me myself, after I had my son, I knew I wasn't the weight that I wanted to be. So instead of, you know, being depressed about it and being sad about it, I decided to eat better. I knew that I couldn't necessarily control my time, because having a child kind of limits your time sometimes. But I knew I could be in control of what I ate. Since I was the one who was mostly cooking and making sure everybody was fed, my food and what I made was something that I could control. So with that, I was able to, you know, switch my eating habits and eat better, which, you know, just like eating better can definitely drastically change your weight. By doing that, it helped a lot. After that, I started finding foods that I liked, that I hadn't tried before. I started replacing things, you know, old things that weren't really good for me, replacing them with better ingredients, healthier ingredients, so still getting those substances that I needed, but also just kind of, you know, it didn't have as much fat or carbs. So with, you know, changing my eating habits, it allowed me to lose the weight that I was felt so bad about, and just, I mean, made me kind of get the weight that I wanted, you know. And once I started seeing the weight go down, I tried to figure out, you know, what more could I do. And I mean, you don't necessarily have to be in the gym all day. You know, just find out what works for you, like what hobbies you like. Me, for one, I didn't really like working out, but I love to dance. And for me, dance wasn't really exercising. So for me, dancing was a kind of killing two birds with one stone. I was having fun, but I was still, you know, losing the weight and sweating. So, I mean, it could be going to the park or something, playing with your kids, or going for a walk, or going, you know, hiking or something. If you're into bikes, there are cycling classes. There are plenty of dance classes, you know, to take Zumba and stuff like that. You can have fun, listen to good music, and just sweat. Those are some hacks that I use, you know what I'm saying, that really helped me gain my confidence back. You know, it's day by day. It's a day by day thing. You know, it doesn't happen overnight, of course. But looking back, you know, of how I felt back then compared to now, I can definitely see a difference. I can feel a difference. You know what I'm saying? I do have days, of course, just like anybody else, where I don't feel my best. But it's just like a day-to-day basis, pretty much. I mean, when I take pictures, of course, I see pictures back then, and I can literally tell and see the difference. So yeah, that is my hacks for gaining confidence, and I hope these help you. If you have any hacks or, you know, things that you have that work, let me know, because, I mean, it could help somebody. Y'all have a good one.